the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's.
Saying it, you may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Guys, there's nothing like boxing, and there are no athletes like fighters.
Struggling to get to his feet. It comes. It's unbelievable.
Back, takes another right. Burns in deep trouble again. Burns is down. Burns is down.
You know, you dream of fights, I guess, but the very seldom do they live up to this. It's over.
What's up, fight fans? I'm J.Cotto. Welcome to J.Cotto's Fight Page, and welcome to an edition of Late Night Boxing Talk. And peace to the boxing junkie, man. Yeah, this is just a video, you know, just basically giving late night boxing talk. But just like the boxing junkie and everyone who is following hashtag Come Back to Boxing Radio, it'll be back on air next month. You know what I mean? You guys have nothing to worry about that. Nothing happened to it. It's just you know, new materials, and of course me taking care of responsibilities in life. But the show will definitely come back on. You know, so peace to the boxing junkie, J.Cotto, you know what I mean, and everyone, YTBC student, everyone who follows hashtag Come Back to Boxing and hashtag Come Back to Boxing Radio. And well, you know, we have several topics to talk about boxing. You know, I'm gonna try to make this a nice, long, lengthy one for you guys. I'm also gonna let everybody know that I'll be going on vacation, man. You know, I won't be back for like 2.5, maybe, yeah, about 2 weeks from now, man. You know, just want to make sure that everybody is left with good material. When I came back from vacation last year, I had released Bronco and his 45. Of course, when I return from vacation this year, I'm definitely gonna put that back up as well. That's just, you know, that's just what's going on with hashtag Come Back to Boxing. We have a lot of boxing topics to hit, man, and the first one I want to talk about is you know, Ward fighting a super middleweight, you know, and I don't see where people are actually using their brains in this one. You know, everybody's saying that it's signed already. All of this propaganda that's going around, that it's signed already between Ward and Kovalev, you know, for November. And okay, so Ward decides for a tune-up to fight a super middleweight. And so far, I've heard the excuses, and peace to Shady Slim, but my man, that was sort of asinine from what you told me. And you know me, I tell the truth, my brother. So I'm just rebutting with respect here. I just gotta say that you told me he's 25-0, or should I say 25-1? And you also said that Ego, no disrespect to him, but you said that Ego said that he still got pop and all that stuff. I don't go by any of that. You know what I mean? I don't go by any of that. It's just boxing logic that if you're gonna tune up for a light heavyweight match, you tune up with a light heavyweight. You do not tune up with a super middleweight that's 168, and you happen to be what, 175 now. You know, and the only excuse that I've been hearing so far is that the super middleweight is 25-1. That still doesn't make it right, and it still doesn't make it, you know, permissible to the point where you're just like, okay, well, I can understand why Ward is going. I said it before, and somebody gave me a thumbs down. It was more than likely the faggot thumbs down fan. But by the way, that's your name, so give this a thumbs down too, because everybody knows who you are. So don't worry about that. it's just, it's very asinine for someone to do this. Now, if Ward doesn't fight Kovalev, what do you Ward fans, you Ward diehard fans, going to say? You Ward fanboys are going to say? I'm not talking about the Ward fans that actually are not agreeing to this because they know, damn, Ward, what the fuck are you doing? You don't feel what I'm saying? Because I'm a Ward fan as well, but I'm not going to ride his jock and make this permissible, man. Fuck no. Here at hashtag Come Back to Boxing, we do not play this shit. If you have a favorite fighter and he's going through fuckery, then you've got to call the fuckery out. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm calling the fucking fuckery out. Everybody that's down with hashtag Come Back to Boxing has been doing it too. Piece of the Fight Junkie, you know, the YTBC student, you know, Reef from Newark. I mean, when you going in, that's what it is. Hashtag Come Back to Boxing. You're telling the truth. You're standing behind boxing. So basically, what's going on here now is, you know, you fanboys are just letting this be. You guys are like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But the double standard here is, what happens when another fighter decides to do that? What happens? What happens when another fighter decides, oh, I'm going to tune up with someone a division below mine? He has pop. He has pop. It still doesn't make it right. And that kid is not going to give him the same work a light heavyweight was supposed to give him. You know what I'm saying? This is a bunch of bullshit. This is a bunch of bullshit. And I don't see it as right. I really don't. This is not right at all. It's not right for Ward. But this is what Ward wants. So Ward has to get it. You know? And good luck to him. Which we all know he's going to fucking win. You know, this is dangerous here, man. Especially, you know, it's very dangerous. And not for Ward, for the super middleweight, man. It's gonna happen. Okay. I just want, like every other boxing fan, I just want this fight to come to fruition. I don't want nothing happening. I called it before about the Povetkin fight, Povetkin and Wilder fight. I knew this shit was not going to happen. I knew it was not even going to make it to the ring. At first, I thought it was because Wilder was going to pull out or something was going to happen to Wilder or some other shit. You know what I mean? And but come to find out, it was Povetkin that fucked up. You know. And speaking of that, you know, I was sitting down and Thomas Hauser, he released a report about this, and you know, just letting it be known about how Wilder didn't want to fight Martin and all this other stuff. I mean, we all know who Thomas Hauser is. Thomas Hauser is the man who bought us the 49. Oh, let me rephrase that. He's the one that bought us the IV scandal with Floyd Mayweather, with the test results being ready to be pushed out and everything. And of course, the WBC came to Floyd's rescue and covered shit up for him. You know, we all know what it is. But this is a conspiracy, man. And it's a conspiracy towards us boxing fans, man. Listen, guys. They're taking us for a fucking ride. They got us race baiting each other. We're all fighting all over the fucking place. You know, they got us talking about Fugazi test results. You know, you've got this lawsuit that's coming on now from Wilder's side. So now they're both suing each other. But that's never going to come to fruition. You know, personally, this is what I think happened. I think Al Heyman reached out to the Povetkin camp. The Povetkin camp probably laughed at the idea that Heyman was sort of like, listen, man, let's try to work something out. Because no matter what, this Povetkin and Wilder fight ain't happening. So we're gonna have to make an excuse. And listen. Before anybody catches emotions through the ass, you gotta chill out, put the lotion in the fucking bucket, and understand what I'm saying. So back to what I was saying, and I feel that Povetkin took some money, and then I also think that he also took some more money to take blame and to go with this bullshit. The reason why I say I think this is all a fucking act and a conspiracy and it's all to protect Deontay Wilder is because now all of a sudden the WBC always knew what the fuck to do in situations. Now all of a sudden they have no idea what the fuck to do in a situation like this. They don't know what they're gonna do with Povetkin's future. They don't know how to penalize him. They don't know how to, so they gave Wilder a voluntary. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Now it's all up to Anthony Joshua to beat the shit out of Brazil. And it's also up to Tyson Fury to try to finish Klitschko. Right? Now when these two do this in a convincingly fashion, right? When they do that in a convincingly fashion, and when they actually see, depending on their performances now, I think that they're going to take a look at these two gentlemen. If they actually perform total demolishment on their fucking opponents, and if they like if Joshua severely beats the shit out of Brazil and looks good doing it, while this talking a good game, I don't think he's gonna take this fight too quick. Then if Fury knocks Klitschko out, I see a lot of vacating coming from Wilder's side. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, it's not a race thing either. Don't fuck with me with that, man. You can go fuck yourself if you're trying to bring that shit to my motherfucking scrimmage. What I'm saying here is Wilder is being very protected. He's got a catchphrase. You know what I'm saying? He's a young man. I'm not saying that all his fights are cherry. I'm not saying that all his fights are fake. And I'm not saying anything like that. But I'm saying when it comes to tough competition, when he's ready to step up, he's got to. It's watered down, man. And now I see this as a conspiracy as to what I said. I feel that Povetkin took money. There was no fucking test at all whatsoever. He got paid twice to not take the fight and to take the blame and to go through this little shenanigan. Now, they're going to sue each other. That's not coming to fruit. That's not going across a motherfucking court. It's not. Nobody likes to lose money. This is all smoke and mirrors, a distraction from the truth. It's a deception, man. It's a huge fucking deception to the boxing fans. Now, for those that are like, Jay, shut the fuck up, that and this, Heyman's good for boxing. And okay, he is. I got a question for you guys. Has Heyman put on better fights than King and Arum? Now, if the answer is no, then you have no right calling him the greatest promoter. You have no right calling him a great promoter because, if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't given us hand clapping, standing ovation, going to bed feeling good, waking up glad that you watched the fight type fights. Fuck out of here with that. And who's gonna disagree with me on this? You show me a fucking Heyman fight that was way better than an Arum fight or a King fight. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll roll a blunt and wait. I'm telling you, fucking fight fans, I'm telling you. You gotta stop this, all these premature notions. You know what I mean? It's all a game, man. It's all a fucking game. Now this Triple G Canelo shit still hasn't come to fruition. And guess who's behind that one too? The WBC. All of a sudden, Listen, fight fans. Let's all be the intelligent intellectuals that we are. Let's put this lotion inside the bucket and let's see things the way they have to be seen. The mistake people did here on YouTube in this boxing community, first of all, was fanboy the fighters. Yes, both fucking sides fanboyed their fighters. Then it got into a finger pointing match. Then it got into some race baiting shit. And this is what they do. This is what the powers that be do to us. They make us choose sides like this, while they make all these little plans and schemes to fucking make these fights bigger than what the fuck they are, because they're not really big. It's a shame that we have to go through all of these bullshit situations in boxing, and we pay for it with our emotions, our attention, and our money. You know, you guys also have to understand that there are certain things out there that are also going to try to distract you from the truth. A lot of numbers, a lot of these bullshit questions that they like to ask you that make no fucking sense, and when you do answer them, they still want the fucking... It's not like your answer's not enough, and you've answered it so accurately. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. You know, people need to wake the fuck up and understand that they're playing us, bro. They're putting us against each other with this shit. It's all a conspiracy. It's all a great deception. You guys gotta see this. You know, when people say Floyd Mayweather left his mark in boxing, you know, the man did leave his mark in boxing, but to me, the only mark I see that he left in boxing was basically how to make your money and how to make yourself sell, so that we won't go broke. And you know, one of the followers of hashtag Come Back to Boxing made this. He calls himself a casual, but I know he's not. He's got great boxing knowledge, but he's brought this point up, and it's basically, you know, one of my points that I've always brought up on the video when I spoke about Mayweather. You know, he's taught boxers on how to, you know, make yourself marketable, and you know, he is the highest paid athlete, you know, boxer, not athlete, boxer, and he did this all without hardly, you know, endorsements and stuff. Okay, great, you know, awesome. But then across debate tables, across the whole demographic of boxing, there's a lot of holes in Floyd Mayweather's supposed legacy. You know? And from him basically picking and choosing, which was, you know, it was all greeted with open arms by his fans and basically the boxing world, and they were letting him do this control damage. And a lot of people think that what he did was great, and all he did was just discombobulate boxing to the point where now you have all these guys with all these demands. You know? All these things are just gonna happen, man. All of these conspiracies and all of these cover-ups, and it's happening. It has happened before. The thing is that since this is the era and the generation of cover-ups, and you know, technology's better, and So a lot of things can be faked and lied and stuff. They're gonna do it to us, man. They're trying. But it is what it is. The reverse lawsuit and all that other bullshit and whatever else is about to come up, that's all it is. It's just other shit that's just gonna come up because it's a fucking smoke screen just to cover up what's really happening. And it's protection. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it. Fanboy, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I'm observing along with others, and they see the same thing I'm seeing. So how the fuck is it that we're wrong? It's just the bias in people, man. Thurman and Porter, like I said in my past video I made this week, Thurman and Porter have the stage right now to show everybody, to display all of their skill set, their pedigree, all in front of everybody, and show everybody what this era should be about. You fight fans have to understand that these two are the most important two of this era after the two elite left and retired. Now it's Thurman, and right now it's Porter. This fight is going to determine if this era is going to show and prove at 147. You know, the heavyweight division, they handling their business. The middleweight division is still in shambles. The welterweight division was on top, carried boxing for the past, you know, and now I'm just saying, if this is a spectacular, action-packed fight that consists of the sweet science from both sides of the men, the inside fighter, the outside fighter, giving us a great formula of boxing, if this happens, then this era of boxing, from that point on, is going to be competitive and it's going to be good. You know why? Because that fight, those two men that did combat, and it's a well displayed combat, or should I say a well displayed example of combat. What's gonna happen here is it's gonna make other fighters at 147 and other fighters in other divisions want to give a good fucking show too, and show and prove, right? 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 Exactly. So other fighters that are on that bullshit, now that you know you can get money for what you're worth, now it's time to show what you're worth. So now all these fighters have to just basically throw their hands and do what they have to do. This is exactly why I said that this fight is going to determine the future of this era. These two fighters have the grand stage, television. Okay? It's been a while since they aired boxing on that channel, on CBS, or NBC. So think about it. Think about it, guys, ladies and gentlemen, fight fans. That fight is just not a fight at 147. It's an important fight, man. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. At least for me. Someone that has been through, I would say, what? 3 hours or 2 hours in boxing, at least 2 to 3. So for me, these two, because Thurman is champ, and he's a target. They want him. He's a piece of somebody's unification puzzle. Then you've got Porter, who is a contender, former champion, And if he wins this title, not only will he be champion, but he'll be a threat. He'd be the threat. Even if he loses, but he gives a great performance to a point where Thurman actually got baptized. Like they both baptized each other skillfully. Porter's still gonna be the fucking threat. I just wish both men good luck. I think Sean Porter is a classy guy. You know what I mean? Great person. Keith Thurman as well. Hashtag Thurman Army. You know what I'm saying? And I just gotta respect both men here, and just wish them luck, the best of safety, and may the best man win that night, man. I hope they give us a great fucking match. I want to speak upon as well this thing with Guillermo Rigondeaux, man. I haven't heard anybody report on him. Everybody likes to put him in there as the person, one of the fighters that's feared and ducked, and I agree. So let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. Since we all know that these outlets of media usually listen to our stuff and they like to bite our shit, right? So let's talk about Guillermo Rigondeaux. Let us make him relevant, because he deserves to be relevant, regardless of his fucking record. He hasn't had a chance to shine. A lot of people like to be critical about his fight style and how boring he is, and trying to basically, say he gives, Mayweather performances and shit with the pot shotting. But that's the school of Cuban boxing. That's how they are, very technical. And you guys have to understand that it's also a part of boxing. You new guys don't like to see that shit, because there's no story behind Guillermo Rigondeaux. That's why. There's no fame, no flash, no bitches. No jewelry. That's why. You haven't heard nobody that was fighting like that was able to get out the business with all that money and endorse and vouch for Guillermo Rigondeaux like that particular fighter has with other young prospects that are on the rise, right? But yeah, Guillermo Rigondeaux is no fucking joke. Okay? He was supposed to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. That didn't happen. Leo Santa Cruz wanted to fight him. Then he decided not to. Then he moved up. So Frampton won the title because they stripped Guillermo Rigondeaux, saying because he didn't want to fight. But yet nobody wanted to fight him. So nobody wanted to fight him. They strip him of his title. Frampton wins it. And then Frampton says he'll fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. And then you've got Papa Santa Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz calling Guillermo Rigondeaux a coward and all this bullshit after they done moved up to run away from him. Because Frampton, and not only that, he was ranked to fight Frampton, right? And that's what happened. They got mad. Papa Santa Cruz and Leo Santa Cruz calling him a coward now and all this other bullshit, right? And so then what did Frampton do? Because, of course, Leo Santa Cruz is a bigger name. He's with Heyman, and as well, he came off a great fight. He proved himself. So that's what it's all about with this era. It's a big name, it's for money, fucking get it. But knowing that, that's why I say fuck Frampton and fuck Santa Cruz. See, these guys know that if they would have fought Rigondeaux, not only would they have lost, but at the same time, they would have been respected. They would have put themselves even more on map. They would have got even more money for fights, because if they're so good, and regardless you would have lost to Guillermo Rigondeaux, your performance would have been rated as pretty good because you would have defend yourself in a way that you've never been pushed before to defend yourself. So this is what happens. You see how it all falls into. A lot of people aren't gonna understand what I'm saying. That's because they're stuck on that bullshit. That PVC, watered down, diluted. This is real boxing when guys don't even want to fucking box. In back of a cereal box type fighters. This is what this era is becoming. And guys that were in the beginning of this era, where the two elites were, there are a couple of guys that came out hard and, oh yeah, we're gonna do it this way and the old-fashioned way. That's how we gotta do it. Then all of a sudden, you know, it is what it is. We can blame ourselves for that, for allowing shit to happen and not speaking up for fighters that deserve to be pushed by us. So I'm just telling everyone, speak on Guillermo Rigondeaux, man. Speak on the man. Speak on the man. Because you know his record isn't even as to being past 20 wins, right? So why shit on the man? Yeah, he's a legitimate threat. That he got motherfuckers moving up and plotting and saying they gonna fight him, so that way he won't call him out, in order to make that situation to a point where everybody would be like, yo, he really does want to fight, right? So what they do, they make the move first, and they fucking make these fights between each other and leave out the competitiveness, which is that competitor. And that's kind of fucked up what they did to Guillermo Rigondeaux, because they fucking stripped him. Then they was gonna make him fight fucking you know, what was it, Frampton? It's ridiculous. I don't respect that. At the same time, Guillermo Rigondeaux can only point the finger at himself, because when you left Top Rank, brother, at least you had a following in Macau, China, bro. Know what I'm saying? Bob Arum was trying to help you. Top Rank was trying to work you out, man. But just like everybody else, because you had to fight hard, because you were going to fight hard. Notice how Top Rank boxers fight hard. This is why these new jacks that come in here and start talking about, oh, their fighters are damaged. But that's fight. It's going to happen. And Top Rank has had in their stable the greatest fighters. Even, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. You got to understand that it's getting to a point with these sanctioning bodies as well, that they're just letting shit slide. And we shouldn't. Canelo Pacquiao. You know, I have to say this, man. Yeah, Pacquiao fought Margarito. He beat the shit out of Margarito. But Margarito isn't Canelo. At the same time, Manny Pacquiao is past 37 years of age. He's retired. And this, you know, you got to consider Canelo not only a fucking pack of duck sauce, but you've got to consider him a fucking weight class bully, man. You got to consider this guy a fucking bully, because he's going around and wanting to fight guys when he's originally a fucking almost a light heavyweight, dude. There's been articles out there, and I'm more than sure you boxing fans have fucking read these articles where he came out and said, if I want to get into the ring at 180, then I will. Because I do what I want. Right? Remember that? You guys remember that shit. I know you do. So then why the 155? Why the 155? Because hard hitters like Jacobs, Golovkin, Lemieux, that's where that's where those 5 pounds is basically, especially if they've been fighting at 160 for a while, is a major problem for these guys. That would be considered to these guys drainage. To see a Canelo and Pacquiao, that would be fucking stupid and ridiculous. It would be real fucking stupid. At the same time, you just finished shitting all over you. You let Oscar De La Hoya steer your fucking career into a fucking river or a creek full of shit with no paddles but your hands. Where the fuck are you going, Canelo? Why did you allow this to happen, Canelo? Fuck is wrong with you, Canelo? See? I'd rather hear a boxer or a fighter have his career fucked up or go through health issues later on because he fought. Because he fought for what he wanted. He fought for greatness, to make a legacy, to be remembered as a man. Right? So now it comes to a point that that's not happening. That's not happening anymore. What's happening is these fight fans are just making it permissible for a man to just take the shortcut and give him these fucking credentials and all of this shit to make him feel like he's the fucking man when he's not. And do they face the consequence of, like Danny Garcia, when he fought Salka, and then he tried to, cherry pick Mauricio Herrera. And we all saw what happened with that. He's been given too many gifts, and then, his fans want to call him a TBE or some shit like that without him not even doing anything as to staying competitive and getting those mandatory wins under your strap. To my subscriber, man, my man GGG Gennady Golovskins, my man, don't give up on boxing, man. Don't be discouraged, because boxing now is like a pack of now ladies, man. The new now ladies. You see, I'm more than sure motherfuckers like you and me and everybody else out there were used to just a pack of now ladies that were either cherry or fucking grape, or fucking lemon or straight orange, right? They never mixed them up. Now ladies always had their own flavor. That's how boxing is. But nowadays, you've got that whole pack of now ladies, but then you've got the mystery flavor. So when you're eating, what are there, 5 pieces? So when you're eating 4 pieces of them joints, you're tasting the same flavor. But when it comes to the mystery flavor, which happens to be the same color as the flavor, if you put it in your mouth, it fuck your whole taste bud up, right? So what happens? You're confused. That's what happening with boxing. They're giving us these mystery fucking matches, these mystery fucking announcements, these mystery, situations where we don't know what the fuck happened. It's a mystery. It's all a fucking mystery, supposedly. They're trying to lose us. No. Stay on that ass. Fight fans. You're not stupid. You're not gullible. The Ward situation, my only beef is if you're going into a light heavyweight championship matchup in a couple of months and you have a tune-up, You chose to fight an opponent that's one division below you. The division you're in, right? So we all know it's gonna be easy work, regardless to 25-1. That is the most dumbest shit I've heard. It doesn't make it permissible. That don't mean shit. What does have value in this argument here is you've got a light fucking heavyweight, legitimately a light fucking heavyweight contender. And if it's on paper already that him and Kovalev are fighting, right? Like it's been been stated, then it's got to go down. So let it be known that he is a legit light heavyweight going up against a fucking legit super middleweight. So let me ask you Ward fans a question again, because you still haven't answered my question. So I'm gonna leave it here on Late Night Boxing Talk with you guys, or whoever the Ward fanatics are. What are you going to say if Ward loses to Kovalev? And do not dilute it. Do not cover anything up with it ain't gonna happen. I don't have to answer because no. Be men, be women, be grown, be mature, and answer the fucking question. What are you going to do? What are you going to say if Ward loses to Kovalev? I'll give you something to start thinking about. The first thing you got to say to yourself is, he just fucked himself up fighting that super middleweight for a tune-up when, damn, motherfuckers are right. He should have been fighting someone in the same division to warm up. He's 25-1. That don't mean shit. He's got pop. That don't mean shit. You know, all these situations, man, you guys got to keep your eyes open and take a look at it. It's going to be surprising to you guys that when a lot of truths out there unfold, you're going to say to yourself, why was I that type of person that was on the bullshit, that was on, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Sometimes the things that happen that are so real, you don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise than that, fight fans, you have yourselves a good night. This has been Late Night Boxing Talk with your boy J.Cotto. # come back to boxing. Thank you for joining my fight page. God bless. Stay vigilant. Peace and blessings, fight fans.